Isaac Newton, the man who explained gravity, unraveled the movement of celestial bodies, and laid the foundations of modern physics. But what if that wasn't the complete story? What if, behind the greatest scientist in history, there was a man obsessed with alchemy, biblical prophecies, and ancient secrets? For centuries, this side of him was hidden, censored, or simply ignored. Today we will cross the veil of history to reveal the hidden Newton, the alchemist, the mystic, the interpreter of the apocalypse. Born into an England torn by religious and civil wars, Newton's restless and solitary mind was shaped from a young age. At Cambridge, while studying mathematics and astronomy, he secretly immersed himself in forbidden texts, hermetic manuscripts, and ancient alchemical works. He believed nature concealed codes, and science was just one of the keys to decipher them. In fact, more than half of Newton's personal writings are not about physics, but about alchemy. He obsessively studied ancient texts, searching for the philosopher's stone. He saw it not as a way to create physical gold, but as a symbol of spiritual perfection. In secret laboratories, he conducted dangerous experiments with mercury and toxic substances. Believing the principles of alchemy also ruled the cosmos. For Newton, this was not superstition. It was a sacred science. His religious beliefs were just as unconventional. Newton was deeply religious, but he privately rejected core Christian doctrines like the Trinity, viewing them as corruptions of the original faith. These ideas were absolute heresy. If revealed, they could have destroyed his career, or worse. That's why he wrote his theological studies in codes and metaphors. In manuscripts that would only be deciphered centuries later, he even dedicated decades to interpreting the Book of Revelation, believing the end times obeyed mathematical laws just as rigorous as gravity. According to his calculations, the world wouldn't end before the year 2060. For him, the apocalypse was not about destruction, but revelation the moment humanity's lost knowledge would be restored. We tend to think of the scientific revolution as born from pure rationalism, but that's not true. Figures like Copernicus and Kepler all moved between science, mysticism, and theology. Newton was the apex of this tradition, the last of the great magicians and the first of the modern scientists. By separating his science from his esoteric work, history created an incomplete myth. After his death, many of his writings were considered embarrassing. Libraries hid his alchemical manuscripts, and biographers omitted his mystical studies. It was only in the 20th century that these documents began to surface, forever changing our understanding of the man who shaped our world. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel.